It feels quite wrong to me that Meghan has compared so many times her departure from the royal family to Mandela being released from prison. I don't know if you're aware, but obviously the long walk to freedom, you know, very famously connected to your grandfather. Of course, you know that. But Meghan's biography, written by one of her close pals, was called Finding Freedom. So she seems to look to Mandela and see some sort of comparison in her journey with his. Does that just show how out of touch she is, given she's a multi-millionaire actress who married into the royal family to live in palaces, left the royal family to live in a $14 million Californian mansion? I mean, it was hardly a difficult journey, was it?
Yes, I mean, as I've said many times, we come across people that want to regard themselves as a Nelson Mandela, and yet don't even understand the ideals and the principles that Madiba championed. And we have always said that before you can even regard yourself as a Nelson Mandela, you should look into the ideals and principles that Madiba stood for. He was one who was very much appreciative for the most vulnerable in society, particularly women and children. And therefore, you always taught us that every society is judged and seen in the manner it treats its most vulnerable in society. And therefore, if Meghan wants to regard herself as a Nelson Mandela, she should be able to champion the causes that Madiba represented. And even not far from that, the very own mother to Prince Harry, Princess Diana, also was a patriotic to many causes. I remember growing up studying in Waterford Kamhlaba in Swaziland, which is a United World College. She used to be a patron to our school. And this is what motivated young people studying in Swaziland, outside the borders of South Africa, to continue to be the advocates of change. And I would recall at a very young age, we used to write letters to Amnesty International calling for the release of my grandfather, as there was a Free Mandela campaign and the anti-apartheid movement. Particularly when I came to visit my mother in the UK, we would see a numerous number of people at Trafalgar Square in front of South Africa House who stood side by side championing our dawn for a new South Africa. And indeed. I think Meghan, in that regard, should look into that and find causes that she could lend her name to in order to be able just to hold on to a small piece of what Madiba represented.